This is a reteach for your surface area test. So number one, Elizabeth wants to wrap the box below with shipping paper. About how much shipping paper will she need to cover the entire box? So it's covering, so that's how we know it's surface area. If you look, the dimensions are given in inches, but your answers are in feet. So the easiest thing to do is to convert them before you find surface area. So there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So I'm going to come and divide all of these by 12. And those are the numbers I'm going to use to find surface area. So let me do this over here. So 16 divided by 12 is, let's see, 4/3, which is 1 1/3. So 1.3 is going to repeat. So we're going to round, since the problem does say about. So we're going to have to round and pick the answer that is closest. All right, so 22 divided by 12 is, let's see, that's 11/6. 6 goes into 11 once with 5 left over, which is 1.8, and that 3 will repeat. And then 18/12 is, let's see, 3, 6/4. So it goes 6, so 3 divided by 6, 3/2, which is 1.5. Okay, so these are the numbers that we're going to use in our formula. So we look at our formula chart and we see that the surface area for a rectangular prism, I'm going to want total surface area because I'm covering the entire box, is capital PH plus 2 capital B. Okay. So P is perimeter of the base shape, and B is area of the base shape, and then H is height of the prism. So I'm going to go shade my bases. Those are the two that are parallel. So as soon as I do that, I see that the distance between them is this number, which is 1.5. So I know that H is 1.5. Okay, then I usually take my base shape and draw it to this side here, so I can figure out the perimeter and the area. So 16/12 was 1.3. I'm just going to round that since it repeats, and 22/12 is 1.83. So to find perimeter, I'm running out of room here. Let's see. Let me go this way. So to find perimeter, I have to add all the sides. So this side is also 1.3, and this side is also 1.83. I guess we can just use 1.8. So let's just round that. Oops. And I cannot erase that, so there we go. Okay, so 1.8, and I have 2 of those, plus 1.3, and I have 2 of those. So that's 6.2. So my perimeter is 6.2. Now capital B is area of the base. So let me go and find that. To find the area of a rectangle, it's base times height, or length times width of the rectangle. So 1.3 multiplied by 1.8. And that is 2.34. Okay, so now I'm ready to substitute these numbers into my formula. So the surface area is capital P, that's 6.2, multiplied by H, which is 1.5, plus 2 times the area of the base, which is 2.34. Put that in your calculator and you get 13.98. So the closest is going to be G, 14.5. Okay, number 2. Labeling paper covers the lateral area of a soup can like the one shown before. So I have labeling and it tells me lateral. I want to know how much of the labeling paper is needed for 8 soup cans. So I have to make myself a note here. At the end, I have to multiply by 8. Okay, so lateral surface area of the cylinder, if I look on my formula chart, I see S equals 2 pi RH. So I'm going to come over here and list what I know from my picture. R is 2.5 and H is 4. And I know that's a radius because it goes from the center out. It's halfway across the top of the can. Okay, so I just put that in. 2 is 2, pi is pi, R is 2.5, and H is 4. Multiply that together in your calculator. And you get 62.83, etc. So we're going to round that 62.8. Now be careful, you see that's an answer choice, and if you pick that answer choice, I gave you half credit. But that's not the total answer, because remember we said we need 8 cans, so we have to multiply by 8. So multiply by 8, and you get 502.4. So it is C. Number 3, Mia wants to make a canvas tent with the dimensions shown, including the floor. The canvas costs $1.45 per square foot. How much will she spend on canvas? So again, this means at the end, I'm going to have to multiply by $1.45. We're making a tent including the floor, so that's going to be total surface area, and that is a prism, a triangular prism. So again, I write down the formula from the formula chart. I need to find what the base is, since only the perimeter and the area. It's a triangular prism. That means the bases are these triangles, which means right away I see that the height of the prism is 6, the distance between the bases. So right away I know that H equals 6. Let me write that over here. H equals 6. Okay, so before I find the perimeter and the area of the base, again, I am drawing the base. Let me go draw it over here. I'm drawing the triangle that is the base and labeling it. That's 3. This is 6.2, so this has to be 6.2, or your tent's going to be a little crooked. And this height of the triangle is 6. Okay, so for perimeter, I add the sides. So 6.2 plus 6.2 plus 3. And I get, let's see, 0.4, 6 and 6 is 12, and 3 is 15, 15.4. The area of the base, let me do a different color here. The area of the triangle, I look on my reference chart and I see area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. That's the base of the triangle, lowercase b, and the height of the triangle. So that's 1/2. The base is 3 and the height is 6. So 1/2 times 3 times 6. So 3 times 6 is 18, and half of that is 9. So the area of the base is 9 square feet. Okay, so now I'm ready to substitute that into my formula here. So perimeter was 15, hang on, I forgot already, 15.4. So S equals 15.4 times the height of the prism, which is 6, plus 2 times the area of the base, which is 9. Put that into my calculator, and I get 110.4. Okay, look, letter H, that's the answer, but I'm not done. So again, if you did H, that's why you got half credit. I have to remember to multiply this by the 1.45 to figure out how much she spent. So she needs 110.4 square feet of canvas, and it's $1.45 for each square foot. So this multiplied $1.45 brings my total to $160.08. So J would be your correct answer. Which expression could be used to find the surface area of the cylinder? So surface area doesn't say anything about it being the sides or lateral, so they're asking for total surface area. So look at your chart, write down the formula. S equals 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. So I need to know what R is and what H is. So R here is, well, 15 goes all the way across, so I have to divide that by 2. So R is 7.5 and H is 14. So let me write that formula and then I'll find the one that matches. So 2 is 2, pi is pi, R is 7.5, H is 14, plus 2 is 2, pi is pi, and R is 7.5, and then I have to square it. So let's see, I have times 14 is 7.5, so let me look at the last half, and it's going to be C here. Is your correct answer. Number 5, a paint roller has a radius of 3 inches and a length of 8. So R is 3, and length, that's going to be my height, is 8. Okay, so if I draw a picture of the cylinder that represents the paint roller, there you go, I see that, and that's 3. Oops, that does not look very nice. I was trying to write an R and a 3 at the same time. That's 3. How many square inches will be painted in 3 rotations? So again, I have to multiply by 3 when I'm done. So if I look at this picture here of this paint roller and I think about it rolling on the wall, I see that only the sides of this cylinder are going to be touching the wall. The 2 ends don't touch the wall. So since it's sides, I know that this is going to be lateral surface area. So that formula from my chart is 2 pi RH. So 2 is 2, pi is pi, R is 3, H is 8. So put that in my calculator. You get 150.79. So we're going to round that to 150.8. Okay, and then I have to remember I'm multiplying by 3. Again, if you got 150.8, that's where I gave you half credit, times 3. So 452, and I got 0.389. So 452, I multiplied before I rounded 0.38, so we're going to round that to 452.4. I am using the calculator on my phone, so I'm just using about 10 digits for pi, and I can't remember what the Inspire uses, how many digits for pi. So 452 I got 4, I think on the Inspire it might be 0.42, but there we go. And that is, let's see, inches squared. So 452. Right, number 6 is a rectangular prism, and we want to find the total surface area of the rectangular prism. So again, we write down our formula, which is capital PH plus 2B. So I need to shade in my bases. So there we go. And then I see that the number between the bases is 2, so that's my height. Okay, so to find the perimeter in the area, I'm going to draw my base separate so I can see where these numbers are. 8.2, 3.4. Okay, so the perimeter, come over here and I have some more room. Let me draw it again so I can see as I'm working. 8.2, 3.4. So perimeter is where I add all the sides. So this side is 8.2 and this side is also 3.4. So I have two sides that are 8.2 plus I have two sides that are 3.4. So my perimeter is 23.2. Area of the base is 8.2 times 3.4, length times width. So that gives me 27.88. Okay, so now I just need to put those numbers in the formula that I wrote here. So surface area equals perimeter was 23.2 times the height, which is 2, plus 2 times the base, which is area of the base rather, which is, oh my goodness, I forgot, 27.88. Over here. 88. Put that in my calculator and I will get 102.16. Okay, so then I grid that here. 102.16. Color in, bubble in. It's not working very well. Okay, there we go. Okay, number 7. Mr. Guajardo wants to paint his storage shed. He needs to calculate the lateral surface area because he's not going to go paint the roof and the base is already on the ground. So lateral, so that he will know how much paint to buy. And then they show you the shed there. It's a rectangular prism and the dimensions are shown. So we need lateral surface area. So that's capital PH. So I do need the perimeter of the base. So these are the bases, okay? So it says including the doors. They just wanted to make sure you didn't try to subtract out the door. So he's painting the doors and the siding and everything. So it really doesn't affect the way we're solving the problem. Okay, so the base is a shape. So that means the distance between the bases is 8. That's how high the shed is. So H is 8. Okay, so I'm going to again draw the base here. And that's 14 by 7. And I just need to find perimeter. So that means this side is 14. And this other side over here is 7. So the perimeter is 2 times 14 plus 2 times 7, since I have two sides that are 14 and two sides are 7 that are 7. So the perimeter is 42. So I just put the height and the perimeter into the formula here. So the lateral surface area will be 42 feet times 8 feet. So that's going to give me 336 feet squared. And that's answer choice D.